Hello and welcome to the hallway on YouTube. And I was just want to go over a video real quick. Is the 5 reasons that the WWE is heading in the right direction, and I'm just going to touch on a couple things and give a minute to each one of them, and just whatever comes to mind. But I have an organization of how I want this to go, but we'll get started here pretty soon. Well, first off, we're going to start with Sammy Zane, number 5. He's a very good addition to the WWE roster, and he used to be El Generico, so he can do the big, flops and flips and everything of that division. But he's a very diverse wrestler, and he really likes to do the kicks and drop kicks and things like that. So he adds a very new dynamic, very old new dynamic. But she's a very skilled wrestler. But I mean, just it's good for WWE to have that crutch to fall back on. So as of right now, Sami Zayn is upwards down and up and down, up and down, but he's still a constant wrestler. He's kind of a fan favorite, and I see him going places. And number 4 is Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens is the best thing to happen to wrestling in the past 15 years. He is the ultimate heel. He is Jericho passed the torch to him, being from Canada, and he really sees something in him. And I know people say he's overweight, but how good of a wrestler is he to be that overweight and still be that type of wrestler? I just really think he's an awesome heel. He's very, very, very articulate in his speaking, and he's good on the microphone, which is 50 to 60% of it anyway. So, but he lets the crowd dictate what he says, because he pulls them in, and then at the same time he just pulls it away from them whenever they think they got him figured out. But I mean, I give him all the credit in the world, and I really like his character. I don't care whether he's a heel or a bad, good or bad. He really does rock it. And number 3 is Shinsuke Nakamora, which is a very, very diverse, wrestler, let alone human being. He was very sought after by the WWE to get him to come overseas and come wrestle for him. He was a big time star in NXT, as is he on SmackDown. So I mean, they say SmackDown is the B show. I think SmackDown is where it's at. I'd rather watch SmackDown than Raw. SmackDown is so much more diverse than Raw, and it's more of a WCW ROH feel, and it gives the underdogs a chance, which is all else fails is that reason that WWE is still on TV. These characters that are coming up are the backbone of the future of the company. And then we come to number 3, which is Kevin Owens. No, it's not Kevin Owens. Wait, let's think. What was number 3? I think we have already done number 3. I think. So, number 2, we'll go with that. Let me say, the ultimate Achilles heel, Bobby, the glorious one, Roode. This is one of the greatest wrestlers that I think will go down in history in WWE. He's a future Hall of Famer. The next step to Ric Flair. He's the glorious one, which is an amazing technical technician, kind of Triple H's. And really the one that sticks out to me is the Double A Arn Anderson, which is the Spine Buster, which is one of his super moves, which really sets up the fact of him being the most dominant person on the roster, I think, is right now. But we'll see what happens, but I'm supporting him. Bobby Roode's my favorite hero. I got a shirt that says "Got Screwed," and I really like him. He's one of my favorites. He's been such an up and comer since TNA. Look at what he's become. So Bobby Roode is really making a push for he is my favorite. Now we come to the number 1 reason that WWE is on TV at all, really, anyway, and that is the phenomenal one, AJ and Styles, the greatest. I went to see him live when he was with TNA on a what is it, whatever the pay-per-view is, the X Destination X. I seen AJ Styles fight Jeff Hardy, and he was one of the most awesome, technically sound, beautiful, just art and just he's just awesome. He really is, and he's really going to do things for the company, and he's really going to take them over his back and say, "Come on, guys, let's do this." AJ Styles is the reason that WWE is well off into the future. So those are just a couple reasons and people on the roster that I think are up and coming, and I feel like they're going to be a good addition to WWE television within the next 10 to 15 years. I think it looks good. I'm going to enjoy just those people fighting against the Shield, just those five, let alone SmackDown being the way it is, and Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. It's just a really, really good addition. I feel like WWE is on their way and stellar, keeping a good pace with being a awesome, just well organized TV show. And that's my opinion about 5 reasons. And I want you to know that we all have a video camera, we all have internet, and we all have an opinion.